Thank you, Hugo, and greetings to the viewers at home. Look, I think it's important that one welcome the initiative by the Premier and the Police Commission in the province to do these raids they are doing recently. But one believes that law enforcement need to do their job. Don't have to wait for the Premier to do their job, because it begs a question to say, where is Home Affairs? Where is immigration officers? Where is inspectors? As you correctly said, on the 1st of March this year, we did march to Riverside industrial area in Newcastle, where we had a memorandum to the Department of Labor calling for these illegal immigrants to be removed from these factories. Most of these factories in KwaZulu-Natal have a lot of illegal immigrants. Even on the 11th of March, we had another march to Isithe in Mandeni. Again, we have a lot of illegal immigrants working in those factories at the expense of South Africans. It's for the reason, as ActionSA, we kept calling to say government must enforce the laws. We've got Immigration Act. Yes, it requires some amendments, but currently it's a crime to even employ someone who have no documents to be in this country. But companies are allowed because of failure to inspect these companies. It's for that reason we believe that Home Affairs have failed this country by opening up our borders, including border management, and even the Department of Labor, because they should be inspecting different companies, not to wait for the Premier to do their job. It's for the reason, as ActionSA, we believe that we must stop this PR exercise by politicians, but we need to make sure that there's work done every day. But those who are supposed to protect the jobs of South Africans, we have high level of unemployment, poverty is increasing every day, so we can't allow illegal immigrants to control our economy at the expense of South Africans.
So let's walk through why you think these factories are employing illegal immigrants and aren't choosing to be responsible corporate citizens.
Look, first of all, one, they go for cheap labor, but they know very well that our country is weak when it comes to enforcement of these laws. We keep praising the Constitution, saying we have a best Constitution, we've got best laws, but the problem is around implementation. Because even Department of Labor, they are fully aware of these matters. When we went to Newcastle, even officials from department did acknowledge that they are aware of this issue, where these employers are employing illegal immigrants. But I must say as well, most of these employers are actually foreigners. These are Chinese companies, most of them. Even in Isithe, Chinese have taken over the clothing industry. The textile industry is gone. That is why we are saying it's hard to protect our jobs in South Africa when government have opened up a trade to all illegal foreigners to come and do as they please. Also, even if you are in this country illegally, you must then abide with the laws of this country. Why they are simply allowed to operate? I can tell you, Hugo, in Isithe, one lady working in a factory told us a very shocking story, saying employer allows illegal immigrants to sleep inside the factory, and they stay there. They wake up even at night, they work, and when they force even South Africans to work overnight, they even give them a very strange comments I heard that they even give women condoms so that when they walk home, they must give a rapist these condoms in case they're getting raped. There's a victimization of our women and degrading, by the way, for our women in this country by these employers. So the arrest of these 268 illegal immigrants is not enough. We need to hear what government is doing about these employers who are not following the laws of this country. Zwakele, we must be decisive.
Zwakele, allow me to interject. You talk about this shocking story of this woman who works for a particular factory and reported to you of the issues that you've outlined, including the fact that illegal immigrants are allowed to sleep in that factory. Now, just walk us through what transpired when you visited this factory, because I'm sure you did do something when you heard the story.
No, definitely. Unfortunately, you will find that our government doesn't listen. We did hand over the memorandum during these two protest marches we had.
No. What I mean as ActionSA, sorry, as ActionSA, when this woman gave you the story, which you've obviously believed and I'd like to imagine corroborated, did you visit the factory in question and what transpired?
We did actually, but the gates were closed. They didn't allow us in. They didn't even denied us access to even engage with the management. But we did also report to the Department of Labor to go and follow up because obviously we can't force ourselves inside the factory. But I personally went there to engage with the management, but I was denied access. But we did engage with the Department of Labor. I'm not sure how far they went in the matter. But as I'm saying, it is one of those issues where when you go down as a leader, you engage with communities affected. You will hear that many of them were employed by these companies. They were retrenched at the expense because they now they employ foreigners. Because our people, when they demand their rights, they get expelled from the job. And these foreigners don't even ask much because all they need is this job. Whatever amount they get, they accept it. That is why we're saying we need to protect the jobs of South Africans. And the crisis of unemployment in our country is a man-made crisis because you can see, even with spaza shops in this country, how many jobs are being lost, the economy getting out of hand, getting out of this country as well because of these illegal immigrants in our country. And government is allowing that. And even now, we hear government saying they must go and register. How you go and register even a foreigner? Even in these factories, we are saying all these companies must be taken back to local business people to run them and abide with the laws of this country and really make sure that we deal decisively with illegal immigrants, take them out of the country, deport them, because this arrest mustn't just be a PR exercise. We must hear the step that when government is deporting them, because we must go back to their countries.
Now, how can government, in your view, and businesses collaborate to enforce labour laws while supporting economic growth?
Look, first of all, I'm sorry the viewers and yourself, you may have heard that we are calling for amendments. We're making an amendment bill. We are putting a bill in Parliament where we are saying the local economy, especially in townships and rural areas, must 100% owned by locals. We are saying also there must be training given to South Africans who have ideas and running these businesses, and also give them skills and also some capital to start businesses. So basically, once we equip South Africans to be able to run this, even this textile industry, they used to run these companies as South Africans. Why all of a sudden it's getting out of hand? But what government must do is to close down our borders, make sure that our borders are secured, but also make sure that we enforce our laws. We must increase immigration officers. They must do their job, stop taking bribes. Even police officers must stop, but some of them, not all, some of them take bribes from these illegal foreigners. So all we are saying is government and communities must work in hand. Like, for example, while we must protest for our own government to hear us, what we are saying. Not long ago, we had to protest in Amashu. All over the country, South Africans are protesting to protect their own country, protect their own economy, protect their own jobs. Why is that? Because our leaders should know exactly the plight facing our communities. It doesn't make sense why people must protest. We don't want a situation where this situation gets out of hand, where South Africans end up becoming violent in addressing this issue. I think so far it's been peaceful protest, but government is not listening to South Africans. So we are appealing South Africa to government that please listen to this, to our people. Listen to us. Don't wait for us to protest before you listen to us. Because as I'm saying, in these two cases, we had to picket. In Newcastle, this issue has been ongoing for years. Only now the Premier is going there to raid. Why take the Premier to go and raid? Where are the officials from Home Affairs? Where is the Department of Labor? How this is allowed? Because it's been years. It's not 2 months. It's been years happening. So we believe that there should be a communication between communities and business community and government, but also the willingness to act and listen to people.
Zwakele Mncwango, ActionSA's eThekwini leader. That's where we'll leave that conversation, calling on government to do more to ensure that factories and other employers are not employing